A very warm good evening to each one of you. My name is Ridhima and I'll be your moderator for this session. First of all, I would like to thank each one of you for taking out time for this exclusive webinar series that we are starting and having a discussion on our amazing topic that we have taken up, which is unlocking opportunities. And you'll be getting an overview on our incubator program and what benefits it holds for you. I want to take a moment to introduce the speaker for this session and a lot of insights that we'll be learning from him today. Mr. Lovepreet Dhaliwal, who is currently heading as the President Sales for RChilli organization. Welcome, sir. Now the floor is all yours.
Joining us from around the world. This webinar today will be focused specifically on unlocking new opportunities in terms of business, use case, various ways you can implement our APIs here at RChilli, and with focus on the benefits that you can get from our incubator program. So we'll try to under 30 minutes, and we'll be covering lots of different things today, starting with who we are here at RChilli. So for those of you who have used us in the past, who are familiar with us, welcome back. And for those who are new, who may have not used RChilli services in the past, welcome, and we look forward to your business in the future. So we'll be addressing the challenges that are usually faced by recruiting companies, job sites, applicant tracking systems, job boards, and we'll look at what are the offerings that RChilli has that helps you to tackle these challenges and get benefit out of them. And then we'll do a brief overview of our incubator program. What does it include? How can you get started and get the most out of it? And what are the benefits that you can get by implementing the various APIs that we have available in the incubator program? And to round it up, we'll have a case study, a brief overview of one of our customers who started with a small integration with us and then grew it up into a bigger integration, a bigger license, and how their journey has been along the way and the sort of benefits that they've got from these integrations with RChilli. And at the end, we'll give you an overview of what to expect once you've signed up for the incubator program. And once you've used up those credits, where do you go from there? So we'll give you a brief overview of the other licenses that we have. And at the end, we'll have some time left over for your questions. So any questions that you may have about how to get started, how to get the most out of you've already signed up, any particular use cases that you have in mind, any problem areas that you're trying to address. So feel free to share those questions in chat, and we'll get to them in the Q&A section. And with that out of the way, so a quick overview of RChilli here. So we've been in business since 2010. We're the most trusted provider for resume parsing, matching, data enrichment, and we do this for customers around the world, be it applicant tracking systems, job board owners, or enterprises. You can do a direct API integration if you're a recruitment systems vendor, or if you're an ERP provider like Oracle or Salesforce. So we have direct integrations available on the App Exchange and the marketplace for that. So we are GDPR compliant, we are SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, trusted by, as you can see, 1,600 plus global firms around the world. And this has been made possible by our incredible dev team and the AI tech stack that we have, that as of today is second to none in the market. So jumping straight into why we do what we do. So here at RChilli, we've always been focused on this mission of touching 7 billion souls. So one of the ways to do that is to make sure that everything that we put out, be it from a simple API method that you call for a product, or a complete suite of parsing, matching, data enrichment, everything that we do is focused towards addressing that problem area. And the problem area that we address is job seekers not being able to get a good candidate experience because they have to spend like 10 minutes filling out a form. Recruiters not being able to find the best person for the job because they have to sift through tens of thousands of records. And these are just some of the things that we help with. Like 58% job seekers decline job offer due to poor experience. So when a job seeker lands on a career page on your application page, you don't want them to leave without completing the application process. One of the best ways to ensure that they don't leave is to make the application process so easy that they can complete it in like 30 seconds. The industry average says 42 seconds is what the 40 seconds is what the average job seeker is willing to spend to fill out your application. Now ask yourself, if someone comes and applies on your career site or in your app, can they do that? Can they complete their profile right from the first step of creating an account, importing their profile, and then clicking submit on their application? So if they can do that, that's great. Chances are they can't and they'll drop off. Most of it is due to the length and complexity. Some applicants don't like to upload resumes and then copy paste the same information from that resume and then fill out a form. Sort of defeats the purpose of having them attach a file in the first place. On the other hand, for the recruiter, it's the same challenge. So if candidates don't apply or they drop off, they miss out on those qualified candidates. And if someone does apply and they get added to a pool of 10,000 records, there's no way they're getting to them unless they have an elegant solution that helps them to search, match, rank, and find the best person for the job. So to do that, there are a couple of challenges along the way that hinder your ability to provide a good candidate experience. And not only candidate experience, manual data entry, the recruiter's ability to screen resumes efficiently. Of course, if you're talking about tens of thousands of records, you want an elegant process in place. And if you're not doing that, all of that adds up to a cost that you just can't afford to have. So you want a better candidate experience so that you get more applicants. You get more applicants, then you want the recruiter to be able to sort through those candidates and find the best person and give them a job offer. Because if they send a job offer to someone who's not qualified or not good enough, they're going to end up either not accepting the role or leaving soon after. Again, that adds to the cost. So that is what all ties together. And the way RChilli helps address these challenges is through our state-of-the-art API technologies for resume parsing, matching, searching, powered all by our taxonomy. And we'll go more into detail about exactly what it is that we do right now. So as an overview, we start by collecting resumes, either through a web application portal, through our API. You can send resumes or jobs through email. We can give you FTP access if you want to import bulk resume data for a client. Let's say you're an applicant tracking system, you've just won over a customer from a competitor, and you want to migrate that data for them. So we also give you those data migration and processing services. If you want to parse scanned documents, we provide support for OCR, which is optical character recognition. If it's a scanned resume or a job inside a PDF, we can parse it for you and give you the data in form of JSON. And we have our own state-of-the-art taxonomy that we've built in-house. There's a dedicated team that's built it up. And this taxonomy is a collection of skills, job titles, the relationship between skills and job titles, synonyms, as well as the ontological classification, which is the parent-child, grandchild hierarchy of various skills and job profiles. And this is what powers our parsing engine. So anytime you parse out a resume or a job with us, you're getting the data that's in the actual document, but you're also getting this extra data from our taxonomies. And all of this feeds into the search and match API, which matches your resumes with jobs and helps you find the best person. So the search and match API actually takes care of 4 different types of use cases. So let's start with from the person applying for the job, the applicant. So if someone applies with their resume, what do they want to see? They want to be able to see all of the jobs that are maybe in your database that they may be a good fit for. And they want to see to what degree do they match against what job, maybe get a score, and maybe also have insight into that score. Why were they scored the way they were scored? And we're one of the only, parsing and searching providers who gives you that level of control and visibility on why someone was scored the way they were scored. And if you want to fine tune that, you can also go ahead and do that. The second is, let's say someone applies to job A and they've clicked on the application, they've clicked submit, and the shortlisting is done and they've applied for that position. But once they've done that, you can go back and run a match against that job that they've applied to and run a match against all the other jobs that you have in the system. And then maybe you can email them, hey, we see that you applied for this position a week ago. Why don't you look at these similar positions that we have for you? So you can do a job versus job match and help them find better similar jobs. And on the other hand, the hiring manager, what do they want to see? So when they're trying to fill a vacancy, they want to see all the applicants that they may have in their database, and they want to see who among them ranks at the top, maybe top 10, top 15, top 50, it's up to you. And they want to see why someone is ranked the way they're ranked. And then they want to shortlist them and then send them a job offer. They can also do it the other way around. Let's say they have a perfect candidate, but maybe they're not available anymore. So they can go back and run a CV versus CV comparison match. So in this, you have an ideal candidate CV, then you run a comparison match against all of the other resumes that you have. So these 4 ways are just starting point. Then you have various other functions in the search and match API. You can run Boolean operations. You can specify weightages for various factors that influence your scoring and ranking. And you can do a number of different things. Next, we have enrichment, in which we give you social media handles of the person if they have it in their profile. And you can use any one of our marketplace providers like Full Contact, Lucia, and Clearbit, and several others. And what they allow you to do is fetch extra data from the social media and any of these providers and bring it back within the same profile. For example, if the person has provided their name and email address, you can send that to one of our marketplace providers, and whatever data they have about the applicant, they'll bring it back and send it to you in one unified output. Of course, there's add-on cost for it, but that's one of the features that we provide. And then diving more into detail about various features that we have, Taxonomy is one of the core functionalities that powers our parsing as well as our search and match. So this is an in-house, completely built from the ground up taxonomy of 900,000 plus skills, 550,000 plus job profiles. And what we've included in this are various synonyms, because there are various ways of writing a job profile. Even something as simple as HR director. So if you write h.r.director, that's just one way of writing it. You could write human resources director, human resources officer, and the same thing for any other position like software developer or software engineer, Java developer. So we have these relationships and synonyms already built out and normalized. And you want data that's normalized so that when you go back and search through it, you get actual data that's not full of clutter, but actual meaningful information. This also comes with the ontology, which is the parent-child, grandchild hierarchy of information. For example, you start with information technology. Under that, you have all the technical positions, and one of those is the developers. And then under developers, you have software developer or Java developer. Next, we have skill and job relations. So because we have this relationship between skills and job profiles, we know which skill goes into what job profile, and a particular job profile, what are the skills needed for that. And because of this, we can also recommend skills to you. Let's say someone has worked at a job profile in the past for the past employer. So we can go ahead and extract the skills they have in the resume. And then we can also recommend skills that may not be present in their profile. And this allows you to complete their profile in a sense that you can recommend skills to them. Hey, we just extracted your profile. We see you worked at this position for so-and-so company. These are some of the skills that people in that position usually have. Would you like to add them to your profile? And that's one of the ways our customers use our taxonomy. Taxonomy being a core part of our offering, there are various other things that we offer as well. So the core benefits of having a comprehensive solution such as RChilli and allowing it to parse, extract data, and match it for you is that you can make the candidate's application very easy. Right now, if you parse like a 2 to 3 page resume with RChilli, it takes 500 milliseconds to like 700 milliseconds. So with that level of performance, the actual application takes seconds. Whereas if you ask an applicant to fill out a 10-page application, it will take them minutes. And honestly, they don't want to do that. So that's the core benefit, taking away the data entry part and allowing the applicant to look at better matches because they filled out their profile, and actually look at jobs because that's what they want to do. That's what they're there for, right? to apply to jobs. So this allows you to allow better candidate engagement and get enriched data right within your application. So apart from this, let me share one example of a customer. Like we said, we'll cover a quick case study here. So Recruit Genie, which is an HR platform. They specialize in hospitality, and they're an ATS and a career site builder. So what they've done by implementing RChilli is they came to us with a very specific requirement. Hey, whenever someone applies to a job, they spend a lot of time there. We don't get many job applications coming through for our customers. What can you do for us? So we implemented our parsing engine for them, and they were able to see these results for them. So the actual time to apply for a job got reduced from 6.5 minutes, 6.5 minutes, to like 1.5 minutes. Of course, this varies depending on the complexity of your own application process. If you want to ask additional questions to them, apart from what's mentioned in the resume, you can do that and then have them complete the profile. And this also led to increase in job applications. So if people like applying on your career portal or in your interface, you're going to see the number of applications go up. So by doing that, they were able to deliver a good candidate experience, and also on the other hand, an amazing client experience, because more applications for their customers means that they're happy with the Recruit Genie app. Let's quickly run through the various options. So some of you may have already subscribed to the Incubator program. So if you've done that, you'll get full access to our resume and job parser APIs, and also the search and match engine and the taxonomy API. You can implement this, you can evaluate it, you can take it to production and actually go live with it. There are no limitations on it. Once you run out of credits and you want to move to a different license, we have various options available on our website, rchilli.com/pricing, with the lowest one starting monthly for $75 for 500 credits. This goes up all the way to 1 million credits in the annual license. If you need any more, like more than 1 million, 2 million, or 10 million, feel free to reach out to us. We'll give you a custom code, and we'll mention the email on where you need to reach out to us at the end of this webinar. That's about it. I hope this was helpful and gives you a brief overview of what does the Incubator program do, what are the benefits that you can get from it.
Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll be continuing the webinar series for RChilli and for API and ERP. So you tune into our webinars, and thank you so much for joining us.